Hello from sunny Vermont. Welcome to Salt and Sand Studios virtual class. This is your Try It at Home series. Glad to have you here today. My name is Karen. We're going to focus on today what arises falls away. Whether that is thoughts, emotions, sensations, and even the postures themselves, because you don't stay in them forever, right? So this is the kind of practice, this focused practice on arising and falling away and being okay with both of those things that prepares us for the other parts of our lives. We're going to start with a little breath work and we'll work with the Dhyana. That's how I pronounce it. I don't know if it's Diana or Dhyana Mudra, Dhyana. So this is the hand gesture of contemplation. If you take your left hand, I'm not mirroring you right now, place it face up in your lap. Take your right hand and place the fingers of the right hand so the index finger touches the thumb of the left. And then we're going to go ahead and bend the index fingers. It's almost like a little bird. So it looks like this from the top. I can't really show you from the bottom. My shoulders don't work that way. You're going to bend the index fingers so the middle knuckles touch one another, and then all the way to the tops of the fingers. And then you take the thumbs and rest them on the tips of your index fingers. Hope everybody got that. And rest it back in your lap. If your hands or wrists or elbows don't allow you to do that, simply go ahead and place the back of the right hand in the palm of the left. Now close the eyes and find a long, straight spine. Shrug those shoulders right up toward the ears. Squeeze them, squeeze them, squeeze them, squeeze them as tight as you can. Breathe in. Press them behind you. Lift the heart and release them with the breath out. Again, shoulders shrug up. They press back and release on the breath out, even though I just coughed all my breath out. And one more time, shoulders shrug up, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Behind you and down. Take another huge breath in. A little pause at the top to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open up the collarbones, lift the heart, and tuck the tailbone just a little bit. Tuck your chin. Breathe out through the mouth. A nice, steady, natural breath. Maybe for you, natural doesn't mean it's steady. Become aware of the crown of the head, that place at the top back of the head. If you like to work with color, maybe you imagine the color lavender or lilac in and around this space. Notice any sensations there. Now imagine that you could breathe in through that space, the crown of the head, and draw the breath all the way down to your tailbone along the spine. And breathe out, moving the breath from the tailbone all the way up and out the crown of the head. 5 times. Take your time. Now, as you breathe in, imagine there's a pillar of light forming all the way from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. Two more. This time, as you breathe in, imagine that pillar of light getting wider and brighter all the way from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. And as you breathe out, the pillar of light remains, but you extend the light out above the head all the way to the sky. This time as you breathe in, it comes from the sky all the way down to the crown of the head and the tailbone, and then down into the core of the earth. Out all the way up to the sky. As far as you can imagine. In all the way down to the core of the earth. Up to the top of the sky. One more big breath in. In out your mouth. You might retain your mudra or release it, your choice. And bring to mind an intention for the practice. Press your palms together and feel the sensation of palm to palm, finger to finger. Maybe notice any sensation in the wrists, the elbows. How are you experiencing the connection to the earth with the parts of the body that are on the ground or your mat or a prop? Observe any spaces in the body that feel tight or like they're hanging on to something, or maybe they're uncomfortable or painful. Now take note of what else might arise. Maybe they're thoughts. If so, you can label them thinking and let them go. Maybe they are sensations and you stay with them with your breath. We'll kick off the more active part of the class with the sound of Om, as if we could take the chant of Om, combine it with our intention, and draw that intention all the way around us on that out breath of Om, this beautiful vibration of intention. Exhale all the air from your lungs. Take a long, deep breath in. Drop your hands by your sides. You're tenting your fingers here. The fingers could be forward or out to the sides, whatever feels okay for you. Drop the chin to the chest. Experience this posture. Let arise whatever arises. Label it if that's helpful. And give a little squeeze to your shoulder blades. Like a pendulum, the chin moves up to the left and down and then up to the right, taking your time. The breath out is when the chin moves down. The breath in is when the chin moves to the left or right. Maybe on your second and third time, you move the chin a little farther. Next time, chin drops to the chest, lift it so it's parallel to the earth, and take a look over your right shoulder. Use the breath to find a little bit of a deeper twist. And then drop your nose toward your right armpit. Right hand comes up and behind the back of the head. It just rests there on the occipital lobe. You might not have known it was the occipital lobe, but it's the sort of bulge at the back of the head. Feel a little stretch along the left side of the neck. Drop the hand, drop the chin. Lift the chin parallel to the earth. Look over the other shoulder. Breathe in and out. Finding a deeper twist. And drop your nose toward your armpit. Hand reaches up. Rests on the back of the head. No pulling, no pushing. Just using gravity and the weight of the hand. Hand drops, chin comes parallel. This time, right ear toward the right shoulder. And again, we lift up with the right hand. Place the hand on the side of the head, the fingers just above the ear or maybe touching the ear. My neck is cracking all over the place. So my sensation is the sensation of pop. Release the hand, lift the head, left ear, left shoulder. Left hand up, rest it on the side of the head. Noticing any sensation, anything that arises here, even if it's a thought or a picture. Label it if it helps to release it, let it fall away. As you notice, even the breath falls away. Release the hand, lift the head. Sweep the arms around in front and crawl the fingers forward, finding a nice long spine. So no arching of the neck, but keeping the neck an extension of your spine. Breathe in when you get to your edge. Draw the belly in really tight as you breathe out and drop your head. What are your sensations that come to the fore here? An opening in the glutes perhaps, or maybe the discomfort of the bulgy ankle bone on the earth. Use the belly, press your way up to a seat, and we're going to switch the cross of our legs. Taking that the other way, arms sweep around in front. Walk them ahead of you. Long, 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 long spine. Breathe in. Squeeze the belly in to find more space. Drop your head. Notice what arises here. Coming back to seated, we're going to find our way to a tabletop and into some cats and cows. This is a great space and a great movement to support becoming aware of what you're experiencing, not just in the body, but also in the mind, or maybe outside the body too. Cats and cows. Your cow, the belly drops, the breath comes in, the gaze and the hips lift. And your cat, round the spine, scoop the belly in, press the floor away, breathe out, look at your navel or your knees. Now, if you're using my movement and shapes as a guide, which some of you might, that's a cool thing to do, but important to know that my body doesn't do all of the shapes in a way that might be ideal for you right now. Come to a neutral spine. I guess I'm experiencing a frog in my throat. Tuck your toes under and then press the sitting bones back toward the heels, a sort of elongated, modified child's pose. Glide your hands forward until your arms are nice and long, forearms on the mat, and perhaps your head can connect with the earth. Continue to draw the tailbone, the sitting bones toward your heels. Then untuck your toes, draw your knees together, and find Balasana 1, Child's Pose 1. So once you untuck your toes, generally speaking, your sitting bones can come closer to your heels, and you're opening up under the armpits. I just experienced another pop in my neck. It felt good. Sensation that was feeling beneficial. But as soon as it happened, it fell away. Rise up to your fingertips, lift your head a little off the mat. Crawl your fingers forward a little bit more. Big breath in. We're going to crawl the hands over to the left. They might come all the way off the mat. And place the palm of the right hand on the back of the left. Drop everything down. Keep reaching that right sitting bone toward your right heel. You might feel the belly compress your left thigh. Feel how that feels. No judgment, not right or wrong, good or bad, black or white. It just is. And eventually it will fall away, especially because we're going to crawl the hands through the center and then crawl them off to the other side. Walk the hands through the center. Draw your sitting bones off your heels. You're in a longish tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Feet are a little apart. Shift your way to downward dog. Find your dog. Let things pedal out. Let things move around. See what arises. I love to move up and down on one foot at a time. Feels really good to start stretching out the calves and the hammies. And make sure the feet are at least bony hips width distance, maybe a little bit wider. Press the chest toward the thighs. Breathe in and out. And in and out. One more time. We rise to the tiptoes, bend into the knees, look past the hands, and take a walk toward them, coming into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Maybe that's a ragdoll. Maybe you take something different to allow yourself to experience the forward fold differently. I'm going to clasp my hands behind my head, drop the elbows toward the earth. Belly should be in contact with the thighs, so if it is not, bend the knees. Release your hands, a little sway left and right. Experience the sensations of the fingertips dragging along the mat. Let the head hang heavy. Imagine the neck is getting stretched with the heaviness of the head. Root to rise, press into the ground, rise all the way to mountain pose. Take your time. Once the shoulders stack over the hips, a little pause. Sensation of the feet on the mat. The movement of the breath in and out. Any thoughts that come to mind? I'm thinking. Sweep your arms out and up overhead. Release the right hand by your side. Take a little tilt over to the right. Sensation of opening up the left rib cage, expanding the entire left side of the body as the chest and heart shine toward the sky. Beautiful sunny sky today, everyone. Inhale, rise up, both arms high, press the palms together. Interlace your fingers, press the palms toward the sky. Bend your knees a little bit like you're in a high top chair pose. Reach the arms in front and press the palms of the hands away from you, rounding your spine, drop your head. Lift all the way to standing, palms toward the sky. Release your intertwining. I don't know if that's a noun. Drop your left hand to your side. Get tall and tilt to the left. Inhale, both arms high. Come into a chair pose, Utkatasana, and then slowly reach the arms in front of you and sweep them behind, almost like a little skiing posture. We're going to take that a little faster, starting with lifting the arms up and rising up to standing. And then that chair ski sort of wah. Inhale, rise up. Chair ski wah. That's a new word. Inhale, rise up. Chair ski, wow. And we remain here for a moment, maybe playing around with coming to the balls of the feet, bringing the heels down, lifting the toes off the mat. Interlace your fingers or hook them behind you. See if you can lift the shoulders a little bit, tuck your tailbone a little bit more, coming into a bound chair pose, Utkatasana. Slowly shift to the right foot and lift the left knee up toward the chest. Stay bound and step the left foot to the back of the mat. coming into a warrior one stance. You might need to widen your stance, bend your front knee. You're pressing into the back heel a lot. And then we find a humble warrior. Shoulder on the right side or the head inside the right knee. Stretch that back leg nice and long. Let the head hang. Hands are bound. Inhale, press up. Straighten your front leg. A bound standing Parsvottanasana. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Come back and switch the clasp of your hands and come back into your bound chair. Shift into the left leg. Lift the right knee up and step the right foot back. Find your bound warrior one. Press that back leg nice and strong. Left shoulder inside the left knee. Humble warrior. Press back up, standing triangle or Parsvottanasana bound. Nice straight legs. Open up the heart, press the tailbone forward. Step forward, come back into bound chair. Open up those collarbones, reach the heart. Stay with soft knees, find a forward fold. Keep your bind and the hands might float away from the spine. Maybe they don't. Nod the head, shake the head, shake it all about. Release your hands to the ground. Halfway lift, long flat spine. Stay here for a full cycle of breath. And release. Unravel all the way to standing, pressing into the floor to reach the arms up. We find a forward fold again. We're going to take this 2 more times. Halfway lift, forward fold, rise all the way to standing. And forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold, step back for your high plank. Pause. Pause for the cause. What is the cause today? Noticing what arises and noting how it falls away. Maybe through physical movement, maybe through letting go. Drop your knees, nose, chin, chest to the earth. And a little baby cobra. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down to the mat. Press your way back to down dog, maybe through table, maybe through a high plank. My sleeves are getting in the way. Long, big, full breath in and out. Heel forward, high plank. Lift the right leg slightly off the mat. Cross the ankles. Lift to down dog. Use your belly. In down dog, float the right leg high. Draw your knee to your nose. Inhale, extend 3-legged dog. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe in and out. Heel forward, high plank, inhale. Left leg lifts. Cross the ankles. Really strong in the belly, down dog. Left leg lifts. Knee to nose. Left leg lifts. Downward dog. Find your way back to the front of your mat. Crawl, skip, hop, jump, dance. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Press to standing. Hands draw again to your heart. Eyes closed just for a moment. Noticing what arises. Chair pose Utkatasana. You might remain with your hands at your heart. Maybe cactus arms, maybe arms up overhead. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold, release, Uttanasana. Left foot to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge. Take your time. Figure tops, maybe blocks. Right knee over the right ankle. Adjust if need be. Right arm floats high, twist. What sensations do you feel and where? How are you experiencing this posture? This posture now falls away. Right hand to the mat, left knee drops to the mat. Rise up, Anjaneyasana, knee down lunge. Hands can be by your sides, on your thigh, up overhead. Maybe you have cactus arms. So many beautiful options. It's like the flower of Anjaneyasana has many different flavors. Arms lift if they're not. We take a twist, left hand forward, right hand behind. Breathing into it so the gaze moves toward the right thumb. And maybe past the right thumb, the eyeballs might move farther than the shoulders can. Clasp the fingers, the hands in front of your chest. And if you fall over like I just did, don't worry about it. And take a twist a little deeper to the right. Drop your hands to cup your hip. Drop your chin. More energy into the heel of the front foot and the shoelace side of the left. Come forward, half split. Take your time finding it and allow yourself to experience the sensations, maybe in the front of the left hip, perhaps along the hamstrings. Maybe you feel the sensation of the heart reaching beyond the front of your mat and the shoulders stretching backward. Press the right foot to the mat. Hands move forward, back toes tuck under. Hips lift high. We're in a long sort of triangle. Bend your front knee and step the left foot partway up the mat for Parsvottanasana. I'm going to grab my blocks. I'm also just going to check the time. I'm going to take an open twist. The right hand or fingertips stay down and the left arm reaches high. Half bind if you like it here. Pressing both legs as long as you can. Maybe a little bend, especially in the front knee. So work that back leg really powerfully. And twist the heart open. Left hand down. Back foot comes up to meet the front. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Right here with you. Hands to your heart, a twist to the right. You might shift the left elbow outside the right thigh. Or maybe not, depending on what your spine and your hips are doing today. Working to keep the knees aligned and the hips square. Inhale through center and exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale through center, rise up. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Lifting halfway up. We breathe out and fold. The right foot glides to the back of the mat for a runner's lunge. Adjust as need be to find the space that creates balance, length, strength, and gives you the opportunity to focus on whatever arises in the posture. Lift that right kneecap toward the right quad. Take your twist, right fingers down, left arm high. Working the left knee straight forward. Bind if you like. What are you experiencing? Where are you experiencing it? And it will fall away as we reach the left hand to the mat and drop the right knee to the mat. Anjaneyasana. Hands wherever you did on the other side, adjusting as need be for balance. Maybe noticing that if you activate the right glutes and the right hamstrings, you can protect your low back a little bit more. Arms lift up. Twisty, right arm forward, left arm behind you. Gaze follows that left hand and maybe the gaze moves past it. Again, right hand down, left arm high, or perhaps you half bind it. Left knee straight toward the front of the room. Rise back up, right arm forward, left arm behind, and clasp the fingers or interlace the fingers in front of the chest. Spin a little bit more in your twist toward the left. Your hands cup your left hip and the chin drops. What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? Are you experiencing emotion arising? Is there color coming to mind, or maybe images, or perhaps thoughts or words? We move into our half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Heart reaching forward, collarbone smiling, neck long. Imagine you're dragging the mat back with that left foot. Move into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose, left foot down, back toes tuck under to lift the hips, or first finding a standing pyramid, long legs, and then shorten your stance for Parsvottanasana. Moving into our open twist, left hand or fingertips down, right arm floats high, maybe for your half bind. Right hand drops, back foot comes up to meet the front. Rise all the way to standing. Flower growing. Petals and face reaching for the sky. Feeling the sun, forward fold. Half lift. And another fold, stepping back, high plank. You're welcome to go straight to downward dog, or maybe make your way into low plank, or maybe do a couple of push-ups, perhaps adding your back bend. I'm going to hang out in high plank for a moment. Feeling the belly at work. We meet in downward dog. Peel forward, high plank. Exhale, downward dog. Come forward, high plank. Breathe out, down dog. Use the belly a lot. Inhale, peel forward, high plank. Extra breath. Second exhale, downward dog. The hands walk to the feet, finding a forward fold at the back of your mat. Taking your time, knees might bend as you come toward the back of the mat. Ragdoll or some other bind, maybe the hands behind the ankles, perhaps a yogi toe lock, or Padastasana, Padagustasana. Hands release, half lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Weight into your left foot. Reach the right knee up. Step the leg as far forward as you can and spin to the long side of your mat. That wasn't very far for me. So take your stance wider than your shoulders. I have very narrow shoulders, so I'm taking my stance definitely wider than my shoulders. Hands to your hips. And take a little tilt to the right. I'm a little teapot. Heart lifts again. Little tilt to the left. Just finding a little sensation in the hips and the sides of the bodies. Lift back up. Come halfway down. Long, flat spine. Nose points down. Use the belly, rise back up. Bring your hands to your low back. Press the bottom down. Reach the hips a little forward. Lengthen the torso, squeeze the shoulders, lift the heart, a wide-legged mini back bend. Shoulders stack over the hips, hands back to the hips, a little tilt to the right. Lift up, a tilt to the left. Lift up, halfway down. This time, finding the stance that works for you, you're going to come all the way down. I like to walk my fingers forward, shift onto the balls of the feet, and then lift my hips a lot, pressing the chest toward the thighs to bring the heels back down. And then maybe the hands come back either under the shoulders or the fingers spin toward the opposite side of the mat and walk between your feet. What is the sensation in your neck? Is it one of tightness? Is it one of holding on? See if you can imagine the neck is more like a bungee cord. Yogi toe lock. Peace fingers wrap around your big toes. Thumbs rest on the top of the toes. Lift halfway up. Draw the belly in. Open up the collarbones. Bend your elbows out to the sides as you draw the chest back toward the thighs. Hands draw back underneath the shoulders, halfway lift. Hands to your hips, lift all the way up. 5-pointed star, we're going to take a mudra, a power mudra. So it's a fist with the thumbs. Yeah, double yeah. Arms up in a V. Shift the heels inward. Keep your hand gesture. Draw into goddess, elbows out and bent. Tuck your tailbone. Lift the left heel off the mat. Sink deeper into your goddess. Draw the heel down. Lift the right heel up. Sink deeper. Bring your right heel back down. Guess where this is going? Tuck your tailbone a lot. Open the collarbones by squeezing the shoulder blades together. Reach both heels off the mat. Sink down. See if you can stay powered up here. Maybe open up your hands. Fingers spread. Draw the heels down, rise up, 5-pointed star, and into a warrior 2, facing the front of your mat. Back foot comes parallel to the back of the mat, and a sweet bend into your right knee. Adjust as need be. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Noticing any sensations where you're holding on, where you're experiencing this. Whatever arises will fall away. Eventually. Flip your front palm. Inhale for a reverse. Explore this. Draw the belly in. Squeeze the glutes. Warrior two again. Maybe this experience is different. And reverse. Side angle. Take your time. Lift up, warrior two, hands to your hips, straighten your right leg, pivot your right foot so now it's parallel to the front of the mat, and take a warrior two on the other side. Left knee is bent, it's stacked over the left hips, shoulders are stacked over the hips, the gaze is over the middle left finger. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Are there thoughts? Label them. I'm thinking. Flip your front palm, reverse. What arises, warrior two? Reverse. Side angle. Warrior two. Hands to your hips, face the long edge of your mat. Heel toe the feet a little closer together. And then pivot on your front heel, step forward to the front of your mat. Checking time once again. All right, we're going to reach the arms high overhead. And take a fold over our legs. Half lift. And a forward fold. Step back, high plank. And your choice, moving through the rest of your vinyasa to down dog or going straight to down dog from high plank. Peel forward, high plank. Knees bend and drop to the earth. We're going to cross our ankles. Roll over. We're going to come down to our backs where we will remain for the rest of practice until our very end. So find your way all the way onto your back. We'll work here into a couple back bends, a twist, and then our supine figure four. So whether you like a shorter yogic back bend, you can bring your heels in toward your bottom and maybe see if you can touch your feet, or a Pilates style back bend. You move the feet forward a little bit more, which helps to protect the low spine a bit better. One at a time, move the shoulder blades off the mat and down toward the hip on the same side, snuggling into the earth. And just take a moment to press the navel toward the spine and the low spine toward the earth. This means you'll be tilting your pelvis a little upward. Tuck your chin a little bit to extend the neck. You can refine the stance if it makes any, if the body requires you to. Pressing the big toe mounds into the earth. Tilt that pelvis toward the sky a little bit more. And as you breathe in, it's a dragging back feeling of the mat with the hands and the feet. As you float the hips off the mat, the knees move forward. Hips might not come very far, especially if your feet are farther away from your bottom. We're going to tilt that tailbone toward the sky as much as possible. Sneak the shoulder blades toward one another underneath you. Maybe grasp the hands behind you. And then press the heart to shine up and back. We're activating the glutes and the hamstrings to protect your low spine. We breathe here, letting the experience wash over us without any judgment, but maybe labeling to help it, like, oh, I feel this in my low back. Well, then tilt your tailbone a little closer to the sky. Press the big toe mounds into the earth. Lift that heart. Then unzip all the way down to the mat. Take a moment to reorient, spreading the low back onto the mat. Preparing for one more 3 to 5 breaths. Ready, and move into your bridge. Or if you have a wheel and feel open enough, we did a bit of shoulder opening today, a little bit of heart opening. It's also hamstring dependent and quad dependent. Tailbone toward the sky, heart shining. And unzip the spine all the way down to the earth. One at a time, you draw the knees in toward the armpits and give them a good squeeze, working to compress the belly with your thighs. Knee circles, or maybe a happy baby. Generally speaking, a rock left and right always feels good. And then we'll bring the feet as wide as the mat. Slowly, slowly, slowly drop the knees all the way to the right. Arms can flop out. Gaze can move left if that feels fine for you. How are you experiencing this posture? Where is the energy? Is there lightness or openness anywhere? Is there tightness or discomfort anywhere? Without any judgment, just observe what arises. Perhaps they are words in your head, and you can say, thinking. And knees drop to the opposite side. Slowly, gaze moves to the right. Knees point toward the sky, nose points toward the sky. Feet come about hips width distance, right ankle crosses above the left knee. You could remain here as you activate both feet, I must say both sets of feet. Or you might grasp the back of your left thigh or the front of the shin and draw the left knee toward your armpit. The right elbow helps move that right knee away from you. And your feet are activated, your chin is tucked. And take that to the opposite side, noticing any difference side to side. Release this and find your way to any last movement or posture required for your body. Just listen to the body. And we'll meet just for a few breaths in Shavasana. Legs long, palms facing up. Big breath in. Full breath out. Another couple of breaths. This time, as you breathe in, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. And as you breathe out, find your way onto one side. Use your top hand for a gentle press back to your seat. In your choice, a regular meditative, hands in your lap, or we move back to the Dhyana Mudra. Or return to your intention. Allow the palms to press together at your heart. we'll share the combination, the powerful combination of our intention, of our arise and fall away, of the merits of this practice outward to all beings in need using the sound of an Om. You might decide that that Om is silent or a hum, or perhaps you chant along. We breathe all the air out of our lungs for a long, full inhale. Thumb knuckles connect with the third eye center. You recognize that that which arises will fall away. Together we bow. Namaste. As always, fantabulous to be here with you or on the recording, which is sort of with you. I hope everyone enjoyed class and got some value from your practice. I look forward to seeing you maybe in person one day, but certainly back on YouTube again. See you next week. Thank you.